There's an oil painting behind the reception desk at New York's famed Algonquin Hotel, a portrait of the establishment's most important resident, his pose and expression both more than a touch regal as he gazes upon guests checking in and out. He has his own Algonquin business card and a staffer dedicated to his every whim, and even his name denotes sophisticated aristocracy, Hamlet VIII, in fact, preceded by a long line of distinguished other special residents of the same name. And they're all of the feline variety. Because the Algonquin, renowned for its historic hosting of literary and acting legends, has been home to resident cats for almost 100 years. According to legend, a stray who became known as Billy wandered into the hotel in the 1920s, followed not long after by a marmalade-colored cat named Rusty who had free reign of the hotel. Those names didn't impress legendary actor and frequent guest John Barrymore, who suggested, again, according to Algonquin lore, the Shakespearean moniker of Hamlet. Every male cat since has held the title, while every female has been called Matilda. Scroll down for video. We don't know why there's a Matilda, says Chief Cat Officer Alice Almeida, a grandmother and animal lover who doubles as an executive assistant when she's not mothering Hammy, as she fondly calls her feline charge. You know, somebody said waltzing Matilda? That could be it. The Bronx native has been in the role at the Algonquin for 14 years, beginning her cat duties with one of the Matildas. She'd been hired as executive assistant and didn't initially know that the job included feline responsibilities, though that came as a welcome surprise to a woman who currently has 3 cats at home in addition to ferals she feeds outside. I didn't know that I was responsible for the cat, and then all of a sudden, I was here a couple of days, and the assistant said to me, "Oh, by the way, you have to answer Matilda's, because it was Matilda too that was here. You have to answer her emails, you know." It just made me very happy. So I started with the emails, and then it kind of like exploded. Hamlet VIII, for example, has his own social media pages, and he receives a ton of messages in fan mail. He gets cards, presents, even proposals, and fans of the Algonquin cat have sent toys, replicas, and even unsolicited oil paintings, such as the one gracing the front lobby. The offerings come from all over the world. For Christmas, for example, he received 6 tiny mouse toys he loves to bat around, all the way from Australia. Hammy has his own bed and room near the entrance to the hotel on West 44th Street, and the lobby area is outfitted with cat doors to facilitate his easy movement. He also loves to perch upon 2 specialized cat trees, one at the reception desk and one at the front of the hotel, giving him a street view that most New Yorkers would kill for. Cats need vertical area, so that gives him his vertical, Almeida says. Also, he can be in the mix, but they can't touch him, and it's the same out front. He gets to see the sun, he gets to see the action, what's going on there. So he's got some places that afford him privacy. Hamlet can also retreat to a private room with a bed, his food and scratching post, and his fondness for snacks, or anything edible, really, is making him a bit plumper than Almeida would like. But it wasn't always this way for the American short-haired ginger. In fact, his journey has been a true rags-to-riches story, his proud mother, Almeida, explains. Hamlet VIII was a rescue cat, she tells DailyMail.com. He actually was a feral cat out in Long Island, and he was found on the streets and brought to a shelter. The Algonquin had already put out a call to local shelters looking for a new feline resident. The current Matilda was nearing retirement, soon to head out to a farm of a loyal guest. Hamlet, then named Chill, was a year old. when Dolmita first laid eyes on him, and he had the laid-back personality that makes him a favorite with Algonquin guests. "You couldn't have built a better cat," she tells dailymail.com. "Some guy this morning, he's petting him, and the cat is eating, and the cat isn't even blinking. I've seen 2 or 3 kids at him, and he'll just stand there, and he won't do a thing." Longtime doormen like to play with strings with Hamlet, and it's pretty obvious, as the cat sashays across the reception desk and up to his perches, that he knows he's a bit of a star. He even enjoys regular Reiki sessions with a pet therapist. "Hamlet has full reign of the Algonquin," says Dolmita. "He's the Algon king. We used to call Matilda the Algon queen." She adds, "People make reservations because of him. He gives the hotel a homey feeling. Kids get all excited, and it's not like just being in a hotel. It's more like being home with your favorite things." The lobby includes a display section of Hamlet and Matilda memorabilia, including old photos of his predecessors. There's even an Algonquin cat children's book and stuffed toy that guests and visitors can take home, and there's no shortage of stories about the shenanigans the cats have pulled over the years. "There are legends all over," laughs Dolmita. "We do know that there's one cat that got in a cab. There's one cat. This area, before it was built up, there were stables here, and he fell in love with the barn cat and went after the barn cat. Matilda, I used to like to take the food off of guests' plates, so you had to be really careful what you did. Matilda 3 figured out the general manager didn't like her on the sofa, but she figured out if she was sitting next to a guest, he couldn't shoo her off. Matilda 2 actually meowed into a microphone when we were doing a radio interview. They're all just so full of personality, and each one has their own little antics." The hotel capitalizes upon those antics and personalities to raise awareness and money for animals in need. Share this article. Share. In order to keep Hamlet in kibble and to give back, because we believe that rescue should be the only option, we have a yearly fundraiser for the Mayor's Alliance for Nick's Animals, Dolmita tells dailymail.com. They're wonderful. They encompass 150 shelters throughout the 5 boroughs, and every August Hamlet honors them with a fundraiser, and for the price of admission, you get alcohol, hors d'oeuvre, a feline fashion show, an online silent auction, raffles, cat adoption out front. And 100% of the profits go to the Mayor's Alliance. It's an event and a job, which Dolmita clearly relishes, doting on Hammy and giving the shrewd cat high fives. "I love being the chief cat officer. It's like a dream come true," she says. "Nobody would even ever imagine that it could be possible. I like the other part of my job too, but it's just not as furry as the chief cat officer part."